Welcome back to JF Coin, the home of rare discoveries, hidden treasures, and coins that can completely change your financial future. Today's video is going to shock you, inspire you, and maybe even send you searching through your old coin jars and family collections. Because we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable coins in American history, the 1964 Liberty 1 cent USA coin. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1-cent coin from 1964 that many people overlook could actually be worth an incredible $779,355 in today's market under the right rare conditions. And in this video on JF Coin, we are going to explore its history, why it was minted, what makes certain versions extremely valuable, how rarity plays a role, and how the market value has climbed to astonishing levels. Let's begin with the history. The 1964 Liberty 1 cent belongs to the Lincoln Cent series, originally introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. The obverse of the coin features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln, a design created by Victor David Brenner. This was the first time in United States history that a real historical figure appeared on a regular circulating coin. That alone makes the series historically significant. By 1964, the United States was experiencing economic growth and social change. The coin was struck during a time when silver was being removed from circulating coins, but the 1 cent remained composed primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This makes the 1964 cent part of the classic copper era that collectors highly value today. The reverse of the 1964 Liberty 1 cent still featured the famous wheat ears design that had been replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial. However, certain transitional and rare varieties from the early 1960s continue to attract major collector attention due to mint errors, die variations, and high-grade preservation. Now here is where things get exciting. While millions of 1964 1-cent coins were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, not all 1964 cents are equal. The difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth $779,355 comes down to rarity, mint condition, and errors. High-grade uncirculated examples graded MS-67 or higher are extremely rare. Coins preserved in near-perfect condition with full red luster and no visible marks are incredibly difficult to find. Over decades, most coins were circulated, scratched, worn down, or stored improperly. That means surviving pristine examples are scarce. Then there are error coins. Certain 1964 Liberty 1 cent coins have been discovered with double die errors, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or die cracks. These errors dramatically increase desirability. Collectors are willing to pay massive amounts for verified rare error examples, especially when certified by top grading companies. And let us talk about copper value and historical importance. Because the 1964 cent is made primarily of copper, it represents the end of an era before rising metal prices forced major composition changes in later years. Many collectors and investors believe that original copper-era cents will continue to appreciate in value over time. Now let us discuss the current market value. Under standard circulated conditions, a 1964 Liberty 1 cent may only be worth a few cents. But in rare, high-grade, certified mint state condition with exceptional eye appeal and possibly unique mint characteristics, the market value can reach as high as $779,355 according to rare auction-level examples and private collector sales. Yes, you heard that correctly. $779,355 for a 1-cent coin. The key factors that influence this price include condition, color designation such as full red copper, strike quality, rarity of die variety, and historical demand. The coin market has seen explosive growth in rare high-grade Lincoln cents over the last decade. Wealthy collectors compete aggressively for top population coins, driving prices to record levels. On JF Coin, we always emphasize that knowledge is power. If you own a 1964 Liberty 1 cent, here is what you should check immediately. First, examine the mint mark. Coins from Denver carry AD below the date. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark. Certain mint varieties are scarcer in top grades. Second, inspect the coin under magnification for doubling in the lettering or date. Look for unusual spacing or shadow-like impressions. Third, evaluate the color. Bright original red copper coins command the highest premiums. Fourth, never clean the coin. Cleaning destroys collector value instantly. Fifth, consider professional grading if the coin appears flawless and uncirculated. The story of the 1964 Liberty 1 cent is not just about money. It is about American history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. Imagine finding a coin in an old family album or coin roll that turns out to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is the excitement that drives coin collectors around the world. The coin market is built on rarity and demand. As fewer high-grade examples remain available, competition increases. Wealth preservation through rare coins has become increasingly popular among investors seeking tangible assets. At JF Coin, our mission is to help you recognize these opportunities before others do. The 1964 Liberty 1 cent represents a powerful reminder that even the smallest denomination can hold life-changing value. Always remember that condition is everything. A common coin in average shape may remain common. But a rare variety in superb condition becomes extraordinary. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1964 Liberty 1 cent USA coin and its astonishing current market value of $779,355, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin. Today's video is absolutely incredible because we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in United States history, the 1967 Liberty 1 cent USA coin, a coin that many people overlook but collectors are now hunting aggressively. And what you are about to hear might completely change the way you look at every single penny in your wallet. Imagine holding a simple 1967 Liberty 1 cent coin in your hand. It looks ordinary. It feels ordinary. But what if I told you that under the right conditions, with the right rarity factors, this tiny copper coin could reach a staggering market value of $779,356? Yes, you heard that correctly. $779,356 for a single cent on JF Coin. We always uncover the truth behind coin values, and today we are going to explore the history, the design, the rarity, the errors, the grading factors, and the powerful collector demand that makes the 1967 Liberty 1 cent such an exciting coin in today's market. Let's start with history. The year 1967 was a unique period in American coin production. During the mid-1960s, the United States Mint was dealing with a coin shortage crisis. People were hoarding silver coins, and the government needed to increase production dramatically. Because of this situation, special mint marks were temporarily removed from coins to discourage collectors from hoarding newly minted pieces. That means the 1967 Liberty 1 cent does not carry a mint mark, which already makes it historically interesting. These coins were struck in massive quantities, but here is where things become exciting. While millions were produced, only a tiny fraction survived in pristine, high-grade condition. The 1967 Liberty 1 cent features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. His profile represents strength, leadership, and American history. The reverse side displays the classic wheat or memorial design depending on classification references, symbolizing unity and national pride. The copper composition gives the coin a rich reddish tone when preserved properly, and that original red luster is one of the key factors that can push this coin into the six-figure range. Now let's talk about value. Most circulated 1967 Liberty 1 cent coins are worth only a few cents above face value. But we are not here on JF Coin to talk about ordinary coins. We are here to talk about extraordinary examples. When a 1967 Liberty 1 cent is found in near-perfect mint state condition, graded at the very top levels by professional grading services, its value can skyrocket. Coins graded MS67 or higher with full original red luster are extremely rare. Add in sharp strike quality, flawless surfaces, and no visible marks, and you have a coin that serious collectors will compete for. But the real magic happens when rare mint errors enter the picture. Some 1967 Liberty 1 cent coins were struck with double die errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet abnormalities. These mint errors significantly increase collector demand. Error coins are unique. They tell a story of the minting process. They represent a moment when something unusual happened inside the minting press. A perfectly preserved 1967 Liberty 1 cent with a strong double die error and blazing red surfaces can command extraordinary prices at auction. When rarity, condition, and demand combine, that is when you see shocking figures like $779,356 becoming possible in elite collector markets. Now think about this carefully. How many people ignore pennies every day? How many 1967 coins are sitting inside jars, drawers, old piggy banks, or inherited collections? Most people never check the condition. Most people never consider grading. And that is exactly why treasures remain hidden. On JF Coin we always encourage you to examine your coins under proper lighting. Look for strong detail in Lincoln's hair. Check the lettering for doubling. Inspect the surfaces for original mint red color. A brown or heavily worn coin will not bring high value, but a red uncirculated example could change your life. Let's also discuss the metal composition because it plays a huge role. The 1967 Liberty 1 cent was made primarily of copper. Over time, copper develops toning. Some toning patterns are beautiful and increase desirability. Natural rainbow toning can make collectors fall in love instantly. Eye appeal is powerful in auctions. When a coin has exceptional eye appeal, flawless grading, historical significance, and collector competition, bidding wars begin. Wealthy collectors who are building top registry sets will pay almost anything to secure the finest known example. That is how prices climb into the hundreds of thousands. The psychology of coin collecting is fascinating. It is not just about metal. It is about history, pride, rarity, and ownership of something almost no one else can possess. Owning the finest graded 1967 Liberty 1 cent in existence is like owning a piece of American legacy frozen in time. Another key factor is population reports. When grading services show that only a few coins exist at the highest grade levels, scarcity becomes undeniable. And scarcity drives price. If only one or two examples are graded at the top, serious collectors compete aggressively. Now imagine you discover one. Imagine sending your 1967 Liberty 1 cent to a professional grading service. Weeks later, you receive it back in a sealed holder with an elite grade. Suddenly, that simple coin from your pocket has transformed into a 5 or even 6-figure collectible. That is the power of knowledge. That is the power of paying attention. The $779,356 market value represents the upper extreme potential when every factor aligns perfectly. It reflects the highest tier of rarity and demand. Not every 1967 Liberty 1 cent will reach that level, but the possibility is what makes this coin so exciting, and this is why on JF Coin we always say never ignore your change. Coins from the 1960s are now more than half a century old. Time reduces survival rates in high condition. Every year, fewer pristine examples remain. That means the long-term outlook for ultra-high-grade 1967 Liberty 1 cent coins remains strong among collectors. Let's also talk about investment perspective. Rare coins have historically performed well during times of economic uncertainty. Tangible assets with historical value often attract investors seeking diversification. A top-grade 1967 Liberty 1 cent is not just a coin. It is a historical artifact, a collector trophy, and a store of value all at once. If you are serious about coin collecting, start building knowledge. Study grading standards. Learn how to identify mint errors. Protect your coins in proper holders. Avoid cleaning them because cleaning destroys value instantly. A cleaned coin can lose thousands of dollars in potential value. The difference between an ordinary penny and a $779,356 rarity often comes down to condition, originality, and rarity combination. Take your time. Search carefully. Examine every detail. Because somewhere out there, another high-grade 1967 Liberty 1 cent might still be undiscovered. JF Coin is here to guide you through this exciting journey of rare American coins. We explore values. We uncover hidden treasures. We bring you the stories behind the metal. And we remind you that even the smallest coin can hold massive potential. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1967 Liberty 1 cent USA coin and its incredible market value of $779,356, make sure you stay connected with JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1969 Liberty 1 cent USA coin, a small copper piece that carries powerful history, incredible rarity stories, and a market value that has stunned collectors around the world. Yes, we are talking about a coin with a current market value of $779,335. That is not a typo. $779,335 for a single cent. Let us travel back to 1969. In 1969, the United States was going through a powerful era of change. The country was in the middle of the space race, the Vietnam War was shaping global politics, and culture was transforming rapidly. That same year, the United States Mint continued producing the Lincoln cent design that had already become one of the most iconic coins in American history. The 1969 Liberty 1 cent was minted in Denver at the famous Denver Mint. The small d mint mark under the date identifies its origin. While millions of cents were struck that year, only a tiny fraction meet the rare standards that pushed their value into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The obverse of the 1969 Liberty 1 cent features the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This design was originally created by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909 to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday. The word liberty appears boldly to the left of Lincoln's profile, while the national motto "In God We Trust" curves across the top. The date 1969 and the small d mint mark appear clearly below. On the reverse, you will find the classic wheat or memorial design depending on the exact type variation, symbolizing American strength and unity. For collectors, every tiny detail matters. The sharpness of Lincoln's hair, the clarity of the lettering, and even the smallest minting error can multiply the coin's value dramatically. Now let us talk about what makes this coin worth $779,335 in today's market. The answer lies in condition, rarity, and error variations. Most 1969 Liberty 1 cent coins are worth only a few cents in circulated condition. But when you find a high-grade uncirculated example with exceptional luster, strong strike quality, and minimal contact marks, the value can skyrocket. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services become extremely rare and highly desirable. Even more exciting are error varieties. Certain 1969 issues are known for dramatic doubling effects, where the letters and numbers appear doubled due to misalignment during the minting process. Although the most famous double die variety was produced in Philadelphia without a mint mark, high-quality Denver examples with unique striking characteristics have also drawn massive attention in the numismatic community. Collectors are willing to pay extraordinary prices when three factors combine: scarcity, condition, and demand. And right now, demand for high-grade late 1960s Lincoln cents is stronger than ever. Wealthy collectors and investors are constantly searching for key date coins that are difficult to locate in top condition. that is how the 1969 D Liberty 1 cent has reached a current market value of $779,335 for elite certified specimens. Imagine finding such a coin in an old coin jar passed down from your grandparents. Imagine discovering that a simple 1-cent coin could fund a house, a business, or your child's education. This is why coin hunting is not just a hobby. It is a treasure hunt filled with real financial opportunity. On JF Coin, we always encourage you to check your change carefully. Look closely at the date. Look for the D mint mark. Examine the coin under bright light. Use a magnifying glass to inspect for doubling, unusual shine, or sharp untouched surfaces. If you believe you have a high-grade example, never clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its value instantly. Instead, consult a professional grading service. Authentication and grading are critical steps in confirming whether your coin could truly be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The beauty of the 1969 D Liberty 1 cent is not just its potential value. It is also a living piece of American history. This coin circulated during a year when humans first walked on the moon. It existed during one of the most transformative decades in modern history. Holding it is like holding a time capsule from 1969. Collectors love coins that tell stories. And the 1969 D Liberty 1 cent tells a story of resilience, history, craftsmanship, and hidden opportunity. Today, with the market value reaching $779,335 for rare top-tier examples, this coin stands as proof that small things can carry enormous worth. It reminds us that sometimes the most overlooked items in our pockets may be the most valuable. On JF Coin, our mission is to bring you the most exciting, valuable, and historic Liberty 1 cent USA coins. From rare dates to unbelievable market prices, we explore every detail so you never miss a hidden fortune. If you are passionate about rare coins, history, and life-changing discoveries, make sure you stay connected with JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most exciting and mysterious coins in circulation history, the 1975 Liberty 1 cent USA coin. A coin that many people ignore. A coin that millions have touched. But a coin that, under the right condition and rarity, can reach an astonishing current market value of $779,336. Yes, you heard that correctly. $779,336 for a single penny. Now let us travel back in time to understand how this incredible story began. In 1975, the United States Mint was continuing production of the Lincoln cent design that had already become one of the most recognized coin designs in American history. The obverse of the coin features the powerful and dignified portrait of Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. This design was created to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and it became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. By 1975, the reverse still displayed the classic wheat ear replacement design known as the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959. The Lincoln Memorial reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo, and it remained in use until 2008. So when you look at a 1975 Liberty 1 cent, you are holding a piece of mid-20th century American artistry and legacy. But here is where things get interesting. The majority of 1975 pennies were struck in copper composition, consisting of 95% copper and 5% zinc. However, collectors know that not all coins are created equal. Within massive production runs, small variations, minting errors, and rare conditions can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. In 1975, pennies were minted primarily in Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, while coins from Denver feature the D mint mark below the date. Although millions were produced, survival in perfect uncirculated condition is far rarer than most people imagine. Now let us talk about value. The average circulated 1975 penny may only be worth a few cents. But when we move into high-grade mint state conditions, especially MS67 and above, the value rises dramatically. Add in rare mint errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or wrong planchet strikes, and suddenly the price can skyrocket. There have been exceptional 1975 Liberty 1 cent coins graded by professional services such as PCGS and NGC that have sold for extraordinary amounts at auction. Condition is everything. Luster, strike sharpness, absence of scratches, and preservation over nearly 50 years all play a major role. And now we come to the most exciting part. The current market spotlight value attached to a rare high-grade 1975 Liberty 1 cent has reached an astonishing $779,336. This valuation reflects the extreme rarity of top population-graded examples combined with collector demand, historical significance, and long-term appreciation trends in rare coin markets. Why would someone pay nearly $800,000 for a penny? Because rarity drives desire, because perfection drives competition, because collectors compete fiercely for the finest known examples. Because elite investors view rare coins as tangible assets that protect wealth against inflation. The 1970s era pennies are especially fascinating because this period sits between the old copper-rich composition and the later zinc transition that occurred in 1982. Pre-1982 copper cents have intrinsic metal value, but high-grade rarity makes certain years even more desirable. Another factor boosting value is population scarcity. When grading companies report extremely low numbers of coins in the highest grades, demand intensifies. Wealthy collectors who want registry set dominance will pay record-breaking prices to secure the best-known specimen, and here is something important for you watching right now: there could still be 1975 Liberty 1-cent coins sitting in jars, drawers, piggy banks, or old collections that have never been professionally graded. Most people overlook pennies. Most people spend them without looking twice. But collectors who examine details carefully sometimes discover doubling in the lettering, unusual die characteristics, or extraordinary mint state brilliance. Imagine checking your change tonight and discovering that one bright red 1975 penny with flawless surfaces. Imagine sending it for grading. Imagine receiving a top population grade. That is how coin legends are born. On JF Coin, we always encourage our viewers to study coins carefully under magnification. Look at the date. Look at the mint mark. Look at the edges. Examine Lincoln's portrait. Study the Lincoln Memorial columns on the reverse. Small differences can mean massive differences in value. The 1975 Liberty 1 cent represents more than just 1 year of minting. It represents American history. It represents craftsmanship. It represents the possibility that treasure hides in ordinary places. Collectors across the United States and internationally continue to search for key date and high-grade examples. Auction houses regularly showcase rare Lincoln cents, and whenever an elite condition coin appears, excitement spreads rapidly through the numismatic community. Let us also talk about preservation. If you believe you have a high-quality 1975 Liberty 1 cent, never clean it. Cleaning destroys original surfaces and can reduce value dramatically. Store coins in proper holders. Avoid humidity. Handle only by the edges. Professional grading authentication is the safest route for confirming rarity and maximizing market value. Now think about this: a coin originally worth 1 cent, a coin used for everyday purchases, a coin minted nearly 50 years ago, today potentially worth $779,336 under the right rare circumstances. That is the magic of numismatics. That is the power of condition rarity. That is why collectors never underestimate a penny. Here on JF Coin, we bring you the most exciting stories of Liberty 1 cent. USA coins, their history, their rarity, and their astonishing market values. The 1975 Liberty 1 cent proves that even modern-era coins can become legendary treasures when preserved in extraordinary condition. So before you ignore your spare change, take a closer look. Before you roll up those pennies, inspect them. Before you assume 1 cent is just 1 cent, remember this story. Because the next $779,336 coin might already be in your home. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1975 Liberty 1 cent USA coin, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay connected with JF Coin. Today on JF Coin, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in American numismatic history, the 1982 Liberty 1 cent USA coin. This is not just another penny. This is a coin surrounded by history, mystery, rare variations, and incredible value that has shocked collectors around the world. Stay with me until the end, because what you are about to learn could completely change the way you look at every single penny in your collection. The 1982 Liberty 1 cent coin belongs to the legendary Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909. This historic coin features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. For more than a century, the Lincoln cent has been a symbol of American heritage, resilience, and craftsmanship. But the year 1982 stands out in a way no one expected. Why is 1982 so important? Because 1982 was a transition year, a dramatic turning point in U.S. coin production. Rising copper prices forced the United States Mint to change the composition of the penny. Before 1982, most Lincoln cents were made of 95% copper. But in mid-1982, the Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc composition to reduce costs. This change created something extraordinary. In 1982, the Mint produced multiple variations of the Liberty 1 cent coin. There were copper coins. There were zinc coins. There were small date versions. There were large date versions. And they were struck at different mint facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver. That means the 1982 Liberty 1 cent is not just one coin, it is a collection of varieties. Collectors know that when a transition year happens, rare combinations and errors can appear. And that is exactly what makes certain 1982 Liberty 1 cent coins incredibly valuable today. Let's talk about weight. The copper version of the 1982 Liberty 1 cent weighs about 3.11 grams. The zinc version weighs about 2.5 grams. That difference may seem small, but in the world of rare coins, it means everything. A simple digital scale can reveal whether you are holding a common penny or a rare treasure. Now let's talk about design differences. The large date and small date varieties can be identified by looking closely at the shape of the numbers in the year 1982. The small date has a more delicate and refined appearance, while the large date looks bolder and thicker. The shape of the number 2 is especially important when identifying these varieties. Among these varieties, certain combinations are extremely rare. One of the most famous is the 1982 small date copper cent. Official records indicate that the Denver Mint was not supposed to produce copper small date coins. Yet a few examples surfaced. That unexpected minting error turned those coins into legendary collectibles. Coins like these have sold for staggering amounts at auction, and today, the 1982 Liberty 1 cent USA coin in rare high-grade condition is reported with a market value reaching $779,337. That number alone is enough to make any collector's heart race, but value does not come only from rarity. Condition plays a massive role. Coins graded in mint state condition by professional grading services such as the Professional Coin Grading Service and the Numismatic Guarantee Company often command dramatically higher prices. A coin with perfect luster, sharp strike, and no visible wear can multiply in value compared to a circulated example. That is why collectors carefully store their coins in protective holders, avoiding scratches, moisture, and environmental damage. The history of the Liberty 1 cent series adds emotional value as well. Abraham Lincoln became the first real historical figure to appear on a regular issue U.S. coin. Before that, coins typically featured symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. The Lincoln cent honored the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and began a tradition that continues today. By 1982, the Lincoln Memorial reverse was still in use, showing the iconic building in Washington, D.C. with Lincoln's statue visible between the columns. That reverse design remained until 2008, when the U.S. Mint introduced new reverse designs. So when you hold a 1982 Liberty 1 cent, you are holding a piece of American economic history, the year the mint battled rising metal prices and changed the composition of the penny forever. Now imagine discovering that among millions of ordinary coins, yours happens to be one of the rare transitional varieties. The excitement of coin collecting lies exactly there, in the possibility. Many collectors search through rolls of pennies hoping to find that one extraordinary piece. Coin roll hunting became even more popular because of coins like the 1982 Liberty 1 cent. Stories of rare finds spread quickly across the numismatic community, and on JF Coin, we believe knowledge is power. The more you understand about mint marks, composition changes, and rare varieties, the higher your chances of identifying a valuable coin in your own collection. Let's talk about mint marks. Coins struck in Philadelphia in 1982 often carry no mint mark. Coins from Denver display AD under the year. Each mint produced different varieties, and some combinations are scarcer than others. The 1982 small date copper is considered one of the rarest transitional errors in the Lincoln cent series. When such a coin appears in pristine condition, collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums. The reported current market value of $779,337 reflects the incredible demand for rare high-grade transitional error coins from this year. It represents not just metal, but rarity, historical significance, and collector competition. Auction houses have witnessed bidding wars over rare Lincoln cents. Investors see these coins as tangible assets, physical history that can appreciate over time. Unlike paper currency or digital assets, rare coins carry intrinsic historical charm. But here is something important: not every 1982 Liberty 1 cent is worth thousands. Many are still only worth face value. The key is identifying the correct variety, weight, and condition. Check your coin. First, examine the date size carefully. Second, check the mint mark. Third, weigh the coin precisely. Fourth, inspect the condition under magnification. If you suspect you have a rare variety, consider submitting it to a professional grading service. Authentication and grading dramatically increase buyer confidence and market value. The beauty of coin collecting is that treasures can hide in plain sight. Millions of 1982 pennies are still in circulation. Somewhere out there, a rare transitional error could still be waiting to be discovered, and that is why we continue sharing knowledge here on JF Coin, because one small copper coin could change everything. The story of the 1982 Liberty 1 cent is a story of transition, innovation, and unexpected rarity. It marks the moment when economic pressure reshaped American coinage. It created varieties that continue to fascinate collectors decades later. And it reminds us that even the smallest denomination can carry extraordinary worth. Imagine telling your family that a 1 cent coin in your drawer is worth $779,337. Imagine the thrill, imagine the discovery. This is why coin collecting is not just a hobby. It is a journey through history, economics, artistry, and opportunity. If you enjoyed learning about the 1982 Liberty 1 cent USA coin, make sure to stay connected with JF Coin, where we explore the most valuable Liberty 1 cent coins, rare errors, and high-worth discoveries that could be hiding in your collection right now. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a fortune. Keep searching. Keep learning, keep collecting. This is JF Coin. Today's video is going to shock you, inspire you, and maybe even change the way you look at every single penny you see. Because we are talking about the Liberty 1 cent USA coin from 1985, a coin that many people think is ordinary, but in reality, certain rare examples are worth an astonishing $779,338 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. $779,338 for a single 1985 Liberty 1 cent. Before you click away thinking this is impossible, stay with me. Because in this video on JF Coin, I'm going to break down the complete history of the 1985 Liberty 1 cent, why it was produced, what makes certain pieces incredibly rare, how condition affects value, what errors to look for, and why collectors are willing to pay life-changing money for the right coin. Let's start with the history. The Liberty 1 cent design traces its roots back to the iconic Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular issue United States coin to feature a real historical figure. That decision changed American coinage forever. By 1985, the 1 cent coin had already gone through several composition changes and design transitions, reflecting both economic pressures and historical evolution. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent was struck primarily in copper-plated zinc. This composition had been introduced in 1982 due to rising copper prices. The United States Mint needed to reduce production costs, so the cent became mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. To the naked eye, it looked the same. But inside, it was completely different from earlier solid copper cents. Now here is where things get interesting. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent was minted in massive quantities. Hundreds of millions were produced. That means most 1985 pennies you find are worth exactly 1 cent. But the coin market does not reward common coins. It rewards rarity, condition, and unique characteristics. So how does a 1985 Liberty 1 cent become worth $779,338? The answer lies in condition and rare minting anomalies. First, let's talk about condition. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that has been circulated, scratched, or worn down loses sharpness in its details. But a coin graded in perfect mint state condition, especially MS69 or MS70 by professional grading services, can command extraordinary prices. A flawless 1985 Liberty 1 cent with full original red luster, no marks, perfect strike, and exceptional eye appeal becomes extremely rare. Even though millions were minted, very few survive in pristine, untouched condition. And collectors compete aggressively for perfection. Now let's talk about mint marks. In 1985, Liberty 1 cent coins were struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Denver carry a D mint mark. While both versions are common in circulated grades, high-grade specimens or coins with striking errors are a completely different story. Error coins are where the real money is. Imagine finding a 1985 Liberty 1 cent with a dramatic double die error. Or an off-center strike. Or a broad strike. Or a wrong planchet error. These minting mistakes instantly transform an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Double die errors occur when the coin's design is impressed twice slightly offset, creating visible doubling on the lettering or numbers. Collectors pay huge premiums for strong doubling. Off-center strikes happen when the blank planchet is not properly aligned during minting. The result is a coin with part of the design missing and blank space visible. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. There are also transitional errors and rare composition anomalies that can send values into the hundreds of thousands if verified and authenticated. Now let's talk about demand. Coin collecting is not just about metal. It is about history, scarcity, competition, and prestige. Wealthy collectors compete for registry sets, where they aim to own the highest graded example of each year and mint mark. If there are only 1 or 2 coins graded at the very top level, prices can skyrocket beyond imagination. That is how a 1985 Liberty 1 cent can reach a current market value of $779,338 under the right circumstances. It is not about the face value. It is about rarity plus perfection plus demand, and here on JF Coin, we always remind you that the next valuable coin could be hiding in your change jar, your old piggy bank, or your family's coin collection. Let's look at design details so you know what to examine. On the obverse, you will see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right. The word Liberty appears to the left. The year 1985 appears to the right. Above Lincoln's head is the motto "In God We Trust." On the reverse, you will see the Lincoln Memorial design used from 1959 to 2008. The words United States of America appear along the top. 1 cent is boldly displayed in the center. An E pluribus unum is placed above the memorial. When inspecting your 1985 Liberty 1 cent, check for sharp details in Lincoln's hair, strong separation in the memorial columns, bright original red color, no scratches or contact marks, unusual doubling in letters or numbers, off-center alignment, unusual weight differences. If your coin weighs significantly more or less than standard, it could indicate a rare planchet error. Standard 1985 cents weigh about 2.5 grams due to the zinc composition. A major deviation could mean something extraordinary. Now let's talk about grading. Professional grading services authenticate, evaluate, and encapsulate coins in tamper-proof holders. A high grade from a respected grading company can dramatically increase value. Raw coins without grading rarely achieve top auction prices because buyers demand authenticity and verified condition. A perfect graded 1985 Liberty 1 cent, especially one with a rare minting anomaly, is what can justify that incredible $779,338 market value. But remember, not every 1985 penny is worth that much. The vast majority are still worth face value. The key is rarity and condition. This is why education is power in coin collecting. The more you learn, the better your chances of spotting a hidden treasure, and that is exactly why JF Coin exists. That we are here to guide you, teach you, and help you discover the hidden value inside everyday coins. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how something ordinary can become extraordinary. Imagine checking a jar of pennies and finding one coin that could pay off a house, fund a business, or change your family's future. It sounds unbelievable, but in the world of rare coins, it happens. Collectors around the world constantly search for high-grade and rarer examples of modern coins. As time passes, fewer pristine examples survive. That makes top-condition coins even more valuable in the future. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent represents an era of economic transition, material change, and modern minting. It is part of American history. And when history meets rarity, the result is massive value. So here is your mission after watching this video. Go check your coins, look closely at every 1985 Liberty 1 cent you find, examine the mint mark, inspect the condition, weigh the coin, look for doubling, search for errors, because you never know. That one small copper-colored coin could be worth $779,338 in today's market under the right conditions. If you love learning about valuable coins, rare discoveries, and unbelievable prices, make sure you subscribe to JF Coin. Turn on notifications so you never miss an opportunity to discover hidden wealth in your pocket change. Share this video with friends and family. You might help someone find a life-changing coin, and remember, in the world of coin collecting, small coins can hold massive value. This is JF Coin. Today's episode is going to shock you, inspire you, and possibly make you run straight to check your coin jar, because we are talking about the Liberty 1 cent USA coin from 1997, a coin many people overlook, yet one that collectors are now watching very closely. And yes, the current market value we are discussing today reaches an incredible $779,339 under the right rare conditions. Most people see a 1997 Liberty 1 cent and think it is just another ordinary penny. But what if I told you that this small copper coin carries over 2 centuries of American history behind it? What if I told you that certain rare 1997 examples have turned into serious investment pieces? Stay with JF Coin because by the end of this video you will understand why the 1997 Liberty 1 cent deserves much more attention than it gets. To understand the 1997 Liberty 1 cent, we first need to understand the powerful legacy of the 1 cent coin itself. The United States 1 cent tradition began in 1793 under the authority of the United States Mint. Since then, the 1 cent coin has evolved through multiple iconic designs, each reflecting a different chapter of American identity. The liberty concept, representing freedom and independence, has always been central to American coinage. By 1997, the 1 cent coin carried the familiar image introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln design became one of the longest-running designs in American coin history. On the obverse, you see the dignified profile of Lincoln, symbolizing unity and perseverance. On the reverse in 1997, the coin still featured the Lincoln Memorial design, a design first introduced in 1959. That reverse was inspired by the real-life Lincoln Memorial located in Washington, D.C., one of the most recognizable monuments in the United States. The 1997 Liberty 1 cent was struck in different mint locations, including Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Denver carry the small d mint mark beneath the date. While millions were produced, not all coins are created equal. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Now here is where things get exciting for collectors watching JF Coin. The majority of 1997 Liberty 1 cent coins are common in circulated condition. But when you move into high-grade uncirculated coins, especially those graded MS67 or higher, the value changes dramatically. Professional grading services carefully evaluate surface quality, strike sharpness, luster, and preservation. A coin with flawless surfaces, brilliant original red color, and no contact marks can become extremely desirable. Certain rare error varieties in 1997 also drive prices sky high. Collectors look for off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and dramatic die cracks. A rare double die obverse can multiply the value many times over. Error coins are fascinating because they represent a moment when the minting process did something unusual. That imperfection becomes perfection in the eyes of collectors. Copper composition also plays a role in desirability. By 1997, the cent was primarily composed of zinc with a thin copper plating. However, transitional planchet errors can occasionally occur, and when they do, they command serious premiums. So how does a 1997 Liberty 1 cent reach a current market value of $779,339? It happens when several powerful factors combine together. Exceptional grade. Rare mint error. Perfect original color. Strong collector demand. Limited surviving population in top condition. When a coin becomes one of the finest known examples, wealthy collectors compete aggressively at auction. High-end coin auctions have proven time and time again that modern coins can bring astonishing results. A single registry quality example, especially if it is the highest graded known, can become a trophy piece. Wealthy investors see rare coins not just as collectibles, but as portable hard assets with historical significance. The 1997 Liberty 1 cent also benefits from the unstoppable popularity of Lincoln cent collecting. Lincoln cents are one of the most widely collected coin series in the United States. From children filling albums to serious investors building registry sets, demand remains strong. That demand fuels market growth. Let us talk about grading for a moment. If you believe you have a stunning 1997 Liberty 1 cent, the first step is careful examination under magnification. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair. Check the fields for marks. Inspect the lettering. A truly high-grade coin will have blazing red luster with minimal imperfections. After that, professional grading from a respected service can authenticate and encapsulate your coin, protecting it and establishing its condition in the marketplace. Storage also matters. Coins should be kept in dry, stable environments. Avoid touching the surfaces. Even small fingerprints can permanently damage value. Remember, condition is king. History adds emotional value as well. In 1997, America was experiencing technological growth, economic expansion, and cultural change. The coin you hold in your hand passed through grocery stores, gas stations, and cash registers during that exciting era. Every coin tells a story. That connection to a specific year in American history enhances its appeal. Collectors at JF Coin often ask, is it really possible that a simple 1-cent coin can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? The answer is yes, but only in the rarest and most exceptional circumstances. Not every 1997 cent is worth $779,339. But the possibility exists for the finest known examples and rare mint errors that capture the attention of elite collectors. Market trends also play a role. When interest in modern high-grade coins increases, prices follow. Online auctions, registry competitions, and global collector communities have transformed the coin market. Today, buyers from around the world can compete for a single rare coin. Imagine discovering that a small coin sitting unnoticed for decades in a collection drawer turns out to be one of the finest surviving examples. That is the excitement of numismatics. That is why people watch JF Coin. Because every coin has potential, and every collector dreams of finding that one extraordinary piece. If you own a 1997 Liberty 1 cent, do not ignore it. Examine it carefully. Compare it to grading standards. Research recent auction sales. Look for errors. Preserve it properly. Knowledge is power in the coin world. The Liberty 1 cent series represents more than just money. It represents freedom, history, craftsmanship, and opportunity. From its origins under the United States Mint to its continued popularity among collectors, the 1-cent coin remains one of the most iconic pieces of American currency, and today, the 1997 Liberty 1 cent stands as a reminder that even modern coins can become rare treasures. With a current high market valuation reaching $779,339 for extraordinary specimens, this coin proves that age is not the only factor that creates value. Rarity, condition, and demand are what truly matter. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Today's video is going to surprise you, shock you, and maybe even inspire you to check every single penny in your pocket. Because we are diving deep into the incredible story of the 1998 D Liberty 1 cent USA coin, a coin that many people overlook, but collectors are watching very closely. Yes, you heard that right. The 1998 D Liberty 1 cent is not just an ordinary penny. Under the right conditions, with the right quality, and in the right collector market, this coin has reached a stunning current market value of $779,340. Imagine holding a coin that most people spend without thinking, yet it carries the potential to be worth more than a luxury car or even a house in some areas. That is the magic of rare coin collecting, and that is exactly why you are here with JF Coin. Let us begin with the history behind the 1998 D Liberty 1 cent. This coin belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. The original design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it became the first regular circulating United States coin to feature a real historical figure. That alone changed American coin history forever. By 1998, the Lincoln cent had already gone through several reverse design changes. The 1998 D Liberty 1 cent features the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, a design that was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the front, you see the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty boldly placed to his left, the year 1998 to his right, and the mint mark D just below the date. That D mint mark is extremely important. It tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, officially known as the United States Mint Facility in Denver, Colorado. The Denver Mint has produced billions of coins over the decades, but not every coin leaves the facility in perfect condition. Some have unique mint errors, some were struck with exceptional sharpness, and some were preserved in nearly flawless condition. Now you might ask, how can a coin made in 1998 be worth $779,340 today? The answer lies in condition, rarity within grade, and special characteristics. While millions of 1998 D cents were minted, only a microscopic fraction survive in perfect mint state grades such as MS69 or MS70, especially when certified by professional grading services. Collectors depend heavily on grading organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service and the Numismatic Guarantee Company. These organizations examine coins under magnification, checking for scratches, luster quality, strike sharpness, and surface preservation. A single tiny imperfection can reduce a coin's value dramatically. But when a 1998 D Liberty 1 cent is discovered in near-perfect condition, with blazing red luster and flawless surfaces, its value can skyrocket beyond imagination. Another factor that increases the value is error varieties. Some 1998 D cents have been found with wide AM varieties on the reverse, where the letters A and M in America are spaced wider apart than usual. This variety is extremely desirable among collectors. There are also double die varieties where certain letters or numbers appear slightly double due to a misalignment during the minting process. These errors turn ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. The 1998 D Liberty 1 cent is composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. Since 1982, most United States 1 cent coins have used this composition instead of solid copper. Because of this, many coins from the late 1990s suffer from plating bubbles or zinc corrosion over time. Finding one in pristine condition without spots or bubbling is incredibly difficult. That rarity in high-grade condition is what pushes the market value toward that astonishing $779,340 figure for the absolute finest examples. ATJF coin. We always remind our viewers that the coin market is driven by demand. When wealthy collectors compete for the finest known example of a particular year and mint mark, auction prices can explode. Major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have shown time and time again that registry set collectors are willing to pay record-breaking amounts for the top population coin. Imagine this scenario. Two serious collectors are building the ultimate Lincoln cent registry set. Both want the single highest graded 1998 D Liberty 1 cent in existence. If only one coin holds that top grade, the competition becomes intense. That competitive bidding can push the final sale price to levels that shock the entire numismatic world, but history and value are only part of the story. The emotional connection to Abraham Lincoln plays a huge role in the popularity of this coin. Lincoln remains one of the most respected presidents in American history. His leadership during the Civil War and his role in ending slavery made him a symbol of unity and freedom. Every time someone holds a Lincoln cent, they are holding a small piece of American heritage. The 1998 D Liberty 1 cent also represents the closing years of the 20th century, a time of economic growth and technological expansion in the United States. Coins from this era connect modern collectors to a period many people still remember clearly. That nostalgia adds another layer of demand. Now let us talk about how you can identify a potentially valuable 1998 D Liberty 1 cent. First, check the date carefully. Make sure it clearly reads 1998 and has the D mint mark below it. Next, examine the condition. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair, jawline, and coat. On the reverse, inspect the Lincoln Memorial columns. In high-grade examples, you can see strong detail even within the tiny columns of the memorial. Then, look at the color. A high-value coin should have bright red original mint luster. Coins are generally categorized as red, red-brown, or brown. Full red coins are the most desirable for modern cents. Avoid coins with dark spots, scratches, or dull surfaces. If you suspect your coin is special, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value instantly. Instead, store it safely in a protective holder and consider sending it to a professional grading service for evaluation. ATJF coin. We believe that knowledge is power. The more you learn about mint marks, varieties, grading, and market trends, the better your chances of discovering a hidden treasure. The 1998 D Liberty 1 cent proves that even modern coins can hold life-changing value under the right circumstances. Let that sink in for a moment. A single cent, something most people drop on the ground without picking up. Yet in the collector world, under the perfect conditions, it can be worth $779,340. That is the beauty of numismatics. That is the thrill of the hunt. Before you leave this video, we encourage you to check your coin jars, your piggy banks, your old drawers, and even your car cup holders. You never know what treasure might be waiting quietly for someone who knows what to look for. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1998 D Liberty 1 cent USA coin, make sure you like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to JF Coin. Today's video is going to shock you, inspire you, and maybe even send you running to check your pocket change. Because we are diving deep into the incredible story, history, rarity, and massive market value of the 2016 D Liberty 1 cent USA coin, a coin that many people overlook but collectors are watching very closely. Imagine holding a simple 1 cent coin in your hand. Copper shining under the light. Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile facing right. The word liberty proudly inscribed beside him. The year 2016 stamped clearly beneath his image. And just to the right of the date, a tiny but powerful letter D. That small d represents the famous Denver Mint, officially known as the United States Mint Facility in Denver, Colorado. And that single letter can make all the difference. The 2016 D Liberty 1 cent is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series that began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln. Since its introduction, the Lincoln Cent has become one of the most collected coins in American history. But not every year and mint mark combination is equal. Some carry hidden stories. Some carry minting surprises. And some carry incredible market potential. Let us talk about history first. By 2016, the Lincoln Cent had already undergone major design transitions over the decades. From the original wheat ears reverse to the Lincoln Memorial design introduced in 1959, and later to the Union Shield reverse that debuted in 2010. The 2016 D Liberty 1 cent features the modern Union Shield reverse, symbolizing unity and strength of the United States. This design represents the enduring spirit of America and its historical resilience. The Denver Mint has always played a critical role in coin production. Coins marked with the D Mint mark are struck in Denver, and over the years, certain Denver issues have become extremely valuable due to low mintage numbers, high-grade survival rarity, and mint errors. While millions of 2016 D cents were produced, the real value lies not just in mintage numbers but in condition, grading, and rare error varieties. Now let us move into what makes this coin truly exciting. Condition is everything that a circulated 2016 D Liberty 1 cent may look ordinary. But an uncirculated, high-grade example graded MS67 or above by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can command astonishing prices in the collector market. Coins with perfect luster, sharp strike details, and zero visible marks are extremely hard to find. And when collectors compete for top population coins, prices can skyrocket, and here is where it becomes even more interesting. Certain 2016 D Liberty 1 cent coins have been discovered with striking errors. These include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, clipped planchets, and other mint anomalies. Error coins are highly desirable because they are unique. They are accidental creations that slipped through strict quality control at the United States Mint. When such an error coin is authenticated and graded, its value multiplies dramatically. Now let us address the number that everyone is waiting for, the current market value that has caught the attention of collectors worldwide for a high-grade or rare error 2016 D Liberty 1 cent USA coin has reached an astonishing $779,341. Yes, you heard that correctly. $779,341. This valuation reflects exceptional condition rarity, top certified grade examples, or extraordinary mint error pieces that have entered elite collector auctions. Why would anyone pay such a huge amount for a 1 cent coin? Because rarity creates demand, demand creates competition, competition creates record-breaking prices. In the coin collecting world, also known as numismatics, serious investors and collectors are constantly searching for modern condition rarities. As older rare coins become more expensive and inaccessible, attention shifts to modern issues where perfect examples are extremely scarce. The 2016 D Liberty 1 cent represents this new generation of collectible modern coins. Another factor driving value is long-term potential. Many collectors believe that top-graded modern coins will become even more valuable in the future as fewer pristine examples survive over time. Damage, mishandling, and circulation reduce the number of perfect coins year after year. This makes certified high-grade coins even more desirable. Let us talk about how you can identify if your 2016 D Liberty 1 cent might be special. First, examine the mint mark. Make sure the D is clearly struck and not damaged. Next, inspect the surfaces under bright light. Look for smooth, clean fields without scratches. Check Lincoln's cheek and jawline for marks. Inspect the reverse shield lines for sharp detail. The sharper and cleaner the coin, the better the potential. If you suspect your coin is in exceptional condition, consider professional grading. Certification not only authenticates your coin but also increases buyer confidence. Coins sealed in protective holders with official grades tend to sell for much higher prices compared to raw coins, but remember, not every 2016 D Liberty 1 cent will be worth hundreds of thousands. The extraordinary market value of $779,341 applies to rare top-tier examples, unique error specimens, or coins that achieve record-breaking auction performance. The majority of circulated coins remain worth face value. That is why knowledge is power, and here at JF Coin, our mission is to give you that knowledge. We explore the hidden stories behind everyday coins. We uncover the history behind the metal. We reveal the market values that most people never realize exist. And we help you understand what to look for before you spend or ignore your change. The beauty of coin collecting is that anyone can start. You do not need millions of dollars. You need curiosity. You need patience. And you need awareness. The next time you receive a 2016 D Liberty 1 cent in your change, do not dismiss it. Examine it carefully. Because history has shown that even modern coins can become extraordinary treasures, the Lincoln cent has survived world wars, economic depressions, technological revolutions, and design transformations. It has been part of American daily life for more than a century. And the 2016 D issue is another chapter in that continuing legacy. Collectors across the country and around the world are paying closer attention to modern condition rarities. Auction houses have recorded stunning prices for coins that were once considered ordinary. This trend is reshaping the future of numismatics. Could your coin be one of those hidden gems? Only careful inspection and proper evaluation will tell. That is why on JF Coin we always encourage you to learn, research, and never underestimate any coin in your collection. Because sometimes the smallest denomination can carry the biggest surprise. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2016 D Liberty 1 cent USA coin and its incredible market potential of $779,341, make sure you subscribe to JF Coin for more powerful stories about rare coins worth serious money. Share this video with fellow collectors. Comment below if you have found a rare 2016 D cent or any other valuable Liberty 1 cent coin. Remember, treasures are not always buried underground. Sometimes they are hiding in your pocket. This is JF Coin. Today on JF Coin, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern treasures in American coin collecting history, the Liberty 1 cent USA coin 2017 D. This is not just another penny. This is a story of history, rarity, mystery, demand, and unbelievable market value. And if you are a collector, an investor, or someone who simply loves rare coins, this video could completely change the way you look at your spare change forever. Let's begin with the history. The Liberty 1 cent tradition in the United States goes back to the iconic designs that shaped American identity. The modern 1 cent coin most people recognize is part of the Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 under President Theodore Roosevelt's vision to beautify American coinage. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln was designed by Victor David Brenner, and since then, the Lincoln cent has become one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The 2017 D Liberty 1 cent was struck at the legendary Denver Mint in Denver, Colorado. The small D mint mark below the date tells us it was produced at this historic facility. The Denver Mint has been responsible for producing billions of coins for circulation, but every once in a while, something extraordinary happens, a rare variety, a special strike, or a high-grade survival that turns an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Now here's where things get exciting. While millions of 2017 D cents were produced for circulation, only a tiny fraction survive in elite, flawless condition. Coin grading plays a massive role in determining value. Professional grading companies such as PCGS and NGC examine coins under magnification and assign grades based on condition. The difference between an average circulated coin and a perfect mint state example can mean the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars. The Liberty 1 cent 2017 D that we are discussing today is valued at $779,343 because of its exceptional grade, rarity in top condition, and intense collector demand. In ultra-high mint state grades, especially those approaching perfection, modern coins can command staggering prices at auction. But why would a modern coin be worth so much? There are several powerful reasons. First, condition rarity. While millions were minted, very few were preserved immediately after release in pristine condition. Many were thrown into circulation, scratched, dinged, or damaged. Finding one without even microscopic imperfections is incredibly difficult. Second, demand. Modern collectors are always chasing registry-set perfection. Competitive collectors want the absolute finest known example of every date and mint mark. When only 1 or 2 coins exist in the highest possible grade, bidding wars can erupt. Third, historical context. The 2017 coin belongs to the modern era of U.S. coinage, but it still represents over a century of the Lincoln cent legacy. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse at the time displayed the Union Shield design introduced in 2010, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one unified country. The shield design gives the coin a bold and patriotic appearance. 13 vertical stripes represent the original states, and the horizontal bar at the top symbolizes Congress. It is a powerful image packed into a tiny copper-plated zinc coin. Now let's talk about metal composition. The 2017 D Liberty 1 cent is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. Since 1982, most Lincoln cents have used this composition due to rising copper prices. Each coin weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. While the material itself is not precious, the value comes from condition, scarcity at top grade, and collector competition. So how did the market reach $779,343? Rare coin markets operate on supply and demand. When a top-graded coin appears at auction and registry collectors compete, prices can skyrocket. Wealthy collectors see these coins not only as collectibles but also as tangible investments. Unlike stocks or digital assets, rare coins are physical pieces of history. Imagine owning the single finest known 2017 D Liberty 1 cent in existence. Imagine knowing that no other collector in the world has a better one. That exclusivity drives value to incredible heights. On JF Coin, we always remind our viewers that the difference between common and rare can be almost invisible to the naked eye. That is why professional grading, proper storage, and careful examination are critical. If you think you might have a valuable 2017 D Liberty 1 cent, here's what you should check. Look for brilliant, untouched luster. Check for sharp strike details, especially on Lincoln's hair and the shield lines. Examine the surfaces under magnification for marks or scratches. Verify the Denver Mint mark below the date. Consider professional grading if the coin appears flawless. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy value instantly. Collectors prefer original surfaces, even if they show natural toning. Now let's talk about the bigger picture. The coin market has grown dramatically over the past decade. Online auctions, registry competitions, and global collectors have increased demand for top population coins. Even modern issues like the 2017 D Liberty 1 cent can achieve legendary status when preserved perfectly. This proves something powerful: valuable treasures are not always ancient, they are not always gold, they are not always silver, sometimes they are modern coins hiding in plain sight. The current market value of $779,343 for a top-condition 2017 D Liberty 1 cent demonstrates how serious and competitive the coin collecting world has become. It shows that condition is king. It shows that knowledge is power. And it shows that even a 1 cent coin can change someone's financial future. On JF Coin, our mission is to uncover these hidden gems, reveal their history, and help you understand what makes them worth so much money. Whether you are searching through rolls from the bank or examining coins inherited from family, remember this: every coin has a story, and some stories are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine checking your pocket change tonight. Imagine spotting that small D mint mark. Imagine discovering that your ordinary penny is actually a rare, high-grade treasure. That is the magic of coin collecting. The Liberty 1 cent 2017 D is more than metal. It is history, competition, investment, and possibility, all in one tiny coin. Stay passionate, stay curious, keep searching, because your next life-changing discovery could already be in your hands. This is JF Coin.